side by side in his mirror. He's playing with the bottom here. Stay with the bottom. Big wreck in your mirror. Big wreck in your mirror. Oh no! Oh my God! That looks awful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching TARNATION TV on the YouTube machine. We are here at All-Star Racing League, Saturday night. Racing, like we always do. This is race number 5 here of season number 2 of the premier Talladega Superspeedway series. My name is Blaine Donlan, joined by Ron Weston.
Yes, sir, and back at it again. We took last week off. I actually got a chance to go race with the boys. Had a lot of fun. I think I finished 13th out of that. I'd have to double check that, but I'm not really sure. Doesn't matter. Had a lot of fun with them guys. Currently, right now, Denny Carroll is your point leader. He is 24 points over Cody Lamas, 24 over Doug Hillick, 28 over Ken Roberts, and 36 over Nate Balzer. Brian Wolf right there in 6th. Angela Arty, Dennis McCarthy, Greg Lovell, and Dante Ricky is the top 10 in points right now. And yeah, last week was fun. I've been playing a little bit over there to the RTG Challenge Series, and you know, I always say I hate these things. And, you know, I'm not a super speedway racer, but you know, when you do it like I did in the car, you know what I mean, stubborn, and didn't make any changes. It was hard, but I kind of liked it. I learned a lot in the last couple of weeks, and had a lot of fun with the guys at RTG and the guys last week at ASR, and it was I learned a lot. That's the important thing.
That's the thing too, man. Like these Talladega series, if you come out here and race at ASR or Rolling Thunder on a Thursday night, you're going to learn. That's all you can do is learn. And I'm sure if we talk to guys like Rodney Sullins, Chuck McClure, Dante Rookie, they're still learning. They've probably been playing this thing for 20 years, and you're still getting better. You know, these guys are some of the best, and if you want to come out and have some fun, I mean, when can you jam 40 people on a track, 30 people on a track? We have 32 people out here tonight already, and we're heading into qualifying right now, and it is a lottery style this evening. But, you know, you can see there, we're in race number 5 this week, and you can see by the stats rolling on the screen that we've had 44 people roll through here. And that number is only going to climb as we move through these 10 weeks. And, you know, we're going to be talking to Brian Wolf shortly. So, of course, he's got some more info. And as always, of course, thank you to Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales for the sponsorship this season. It's kind of crazy that, you know, we can come in here and make a little bit of coin doing this type of thing, but yeah, we're trying to provide the best product. We had some glitching. I was glitching out there not the last Rolling Thunder race, but the week before. It was a nightmare. Everything just seemed to fail. So now I've been going through all these broadcasts to make sure that everything's working good. So this one is working good. So there was a couple of mistakes I found that never showed up because I never got there. But yeah, anyway, we're slowly kind of getting it all working again because this new computer, everything's just a little bit different. But this, I mean, we were talking, what was it? I wrote them down, actually. We had a couple guys parked. No, we just had one guy parked. Perry Bond.
One guy's parked. That is Perry Bond.
Yeah.
Just too many incident points last week. And then Dave Little is on a 1 and park. So if he basically causes any incident at all and deemed to be at fault or feels like he was at fault, he is required to park it for the night.
as well as Mike Brush in the 53. He's also
Oh,
on the
yeah,
one
that's
board,
right,
so
too.
he's
I
allowed to
forgot about
race
that.
tonight. But if you do cause an incident, you'll be asked to leave right away. They usually give you the 2 strikes.
Yep.
If it happens twice, you're asked to go. Serve your penalties and all that kind of stuff. But stuff happens. And
Yep. Yeah, well, and it does.
Yeah.
I raced over to the RTG there. I don't know. It was probably near the middle part of the race, whatnot. Dylan Young got in the back of me going through the tri-oval, and it was literally a racing deal. I had to lift just a little bit for something going on in front of me, and I don't know. I'm hoping he didn't get an incident point for it. But it would, to me, just a racing deal. Something happened in front, the coordinating effect come back. We always talk about that. Got in the back of me, and unfortunately, instead of hitting me square, it knocked me around and caused the caution. But, I glad to say the last 2 races, unfortunately, did not make the field this last Thursday, but not fast enough in qualifying. I got to take that qualifying class. But, I didn't get any incident points, so that's pretty proud of that.
See, that's the thing, too. You're still learning, too. You've been playing this thing just as long as all of us. It's been out since 2003, so here we are. Been playing Papyrus racing simulators for almost 30 years now, and you're like, yeah, I got to take that. You make that joke, I have to take that qualifying class, but you're right. Like, there's a way to qualify at Talladega, probably at Daytona as well. Any super speedway where you can change some settings in the menus to qualify, and then make sure you change those settings back, of course, when you go to the race. But they can help shave off, even if it helps shave off 2/1000ths of a second, that you've seen the list of how tight these times are. You could have 40 guys out here not even separated by 1 second. And then if you were in that bottom part that didn't make it, it's not like you were slow. You probably missed by a couple of tenths of a second or something, and that was it. Like, oh man, I didn't make the race. Like, it must have been horrible. Look at the times. You could come out here any night of the week and easily get in, and it's just that anomaly where sometimes we even see like 3 positions tied with the exact same time.
Yep.
And we're going 3 decimals deep on the scoring too, which is wild. It happens. But
my first qualifying run there, they took the top 10. Obviously, the top 30 in points were in, so they take the top 10. We went off to another server. We did our knockout qualifying. I finished 11th. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to make the field. And they were like, don't go anywhere. You got to wait to see what happens. And so we did. And luckily, Greg Palmer was over in Italy, and he was in the top 30 in points. So one more person made it in, and that was me. Unfortunately, this last week, it was 13 drivers that they were allowing in. They had a few other people. I know Randy Wall wasn't there. Corey was in the hospital, so he was in the hospital with Corey. Hopefully Corey's doing well. And so they allowed 13, and I finished 50. So, I was just out of it. Robert Spring made it in both of them, but not myself. So, and it's like you said, it's settings. My wheel, I don't have all of the settings that they do. And like we were talking about it earlier, a lot of it too is just, in-game settings, how much steering assistance you have and stuff like that. But it also, with these guys with the force feedback wheels, and the wheels all come with a profile, and there's changes that you can make in the profile, like, how much your wheel turns and how much pressure it has. And, it's just, there's a lot more things that they can change to make it even better.
yeah, do they change the exterior software?
Some of them do, yep. I talked with, so we did it wasn't the Canon, the ALS race.
Right.
2 of the guys that came over there were from Hobo Racing, now a part of AOR Racing. That's the league where I talk to you all. We talk about all the time how they have that program that runs the game for them.
Yeah.
And they got the invite. Kelly Kaza had asked me if I knew of anybody that, I would recommend that come over. And I said, oh yeah, I'd say, Jeff DeKennis and, Herman Reese. These guys, I raced with them plenty over to Hobo. Great racers, a lot of fun. And, Jeff, and we got talking with Jeff, and he has, I believe he's still running the Fanatic wheel. I call him Fanatec.
Yeah, Fanatec, yeah.
And on his screen, he has a screen on the dash. He has buttons on the dash. He can literally change his force feedback. Things in his profile, he can literally change them while he's racing.
From the wheel. Yeah.
From the wheel.
Makes sense.
And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. And he goes, oh,
Your
yeah,
steering ratio, your brake
everything.
bias.
Yep.
Well, maybe not so much the brake
I don't
bias.
know, brake bias. This game doesn't allow it. In iRacing, you can. You can change the brake bias in this game in the garage, but I wish that was something that they would allow you to change, in the car. They probably would have eventually, but they never got to that part of it. But that would have been awesome. You know what I mean? If you could do that, then they have to figure it out. So we're running a fixed setup tonight, which is awesome. Nothing wrong with that. It'd be also kind of cool if they could have it where a fixed setup could be, you could go in and pit. So basically everybody would start with the same setup, but when you went in and pit, you'd be allowed to change, maybe grill tape, air pressure, and that same thing would be nice, like brake bias. Just the things that you could, change inside the cockpit and change on a pit road stop. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be neat on the fly like that.
Yeah.
Now, the drivers' meeting looks like it's still going. We're usually talking to Brian Wolf by now, but nobody's on the track yet, so they must. We didn't broadcast last week, but I think they had a pretty rough race, so that might be what they're talking about.
Like I said, I was there. I got no incident points. I got involved in some of the incidences just because it all happened in front of me. But, basically, they not as happy with it as they usually are. So, but we'll let Brian talk about that. Their drivers' meeting is over.
Yep. They are heading out on the track right now.
A little bit of practice, yeah.
Talk to him.
Sorry guys, I got so long-winded up there. Thanks for bringing me down. Just real quick, this is week 5. We're not going to go into the disaster that was last week. We're just very happy that we weren't. 13 incidents and 9 cautions is too many to have to watch on TV. So we're kind of glad of that. Worked out well, but and you guys know I'm just kidding. But thanks for having us. We want to just go ahead and thank Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales and Parts Barn, as always, for the sponsorship. And thanks to all our All-Star Racing League league admins, Dave Chin, Nelson Rodriguez, Wayne Dinger, or Wayne Meldinger, we call him Dinger, and Ken Roberts and myself, for keeping the entire league rolling. Ken Roberts especially for keeping this series rolling. He's our lead admin tonight, so we thank him. And thank you guys. We always want to recognize you guys for working so close with us and keeping this fun and keeping it interesting and trying new stuff. And we'll have more announcements next week, I promise you. I just didn't have time tonight to talk about stuff, but maybe, hey, you never know. I might top 3 tonight. Points are shaking up fun. If it sounds like I'm reading off a script, I am.
You are.
You're prepared, man. I'm not going to slag you for that.
Robert Spring's one of your admins too.
Yeah, Robert Spring. Yeah. But yeah, we've assembled, a really nice review team. Keep it fair, guys. But everything's working out, and this thing's really gaining some traction. I know there's some guys at the real races tonight, and for whatever reason, some guys can't make it every week, and that's fine. But we're averaging between 25 and 35. I think we got about 28 tonight, something like that. So yeah, man, I'm ready to get after it. It's gonna be fun.
It's fun, man. It'll be a good one tonight. Race
Before
number 5 of 10, halfway through the season almost.
Yeah, after tonight we will be halfway. I can announce this one. Next season, for season 3, we're already planning. We are moving to a 12-week series, and we're going to be offering some different awards and stuff for next season. But I'm going to have to tell you about it later, man, because I got to go.
All right, quick question.
Yeah.
Why is Palmer in Dennis McCarthy's car tonight?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Perfect.
I just work here, man.
Okay. All right, buddy. Well, have fun. Good luck out there, and stay out of trouble.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brad.
Gotta love it. It was a good race. I had fun. Like I said, they did have a bit more caution as they normally do, and like you said, there was a few incidents that, and we talked about it. I think some of it, when you start telling them that they can race back, that introduces a few other things.
But then
we'll
it just
see.
evolves, right? I mean, they'll find a way to fix it too, right? So it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. They'll make it work. I like the race back. I think it's neat. Not a lot of leagues do that. These guys run old school points, so they might as well run old school Oh, I still got the Canon. I still got the RTG car in there. I forgot about the pace car. I usually switch that up.
Oops. My NASCAR just crashed.
I usually switch that up. But either way, we got David Cannon driving the pace car tonight. Thanks to John Godfrey for that, too, I think. I think John Godfrey does the pace cars also. So we're using an RTG track with an RTG pace car. But yeah, 30 drivers I'm seeing on the track. We'll see how many start. Sometimes that number will change. Preliminary numbers right now are showing 32.
And you, of course, beat me out in qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do a quick thing down there. Rodney Sullivan's on the pole outside as ASR HUD, Kelly Kaza, then David Chin, Robert Spring, Brian Larson, Brian Wolf, Blaine Donnellan there in the 8th position, so that means that row will get to move up one. Greg Palmer tonight in the 024 starts 9th. 10th is Ken Roberts. 11th is Mike Brush. He is one of the one and part guys, so he's got to keep his nose clean tonight. I lost my place here. Then we go, Turner's actually going to make the show tonight. So
Looks like
he
we're
has
missing a couple of car files. Missing the 79 and the 029.
I got the 79. I saw him earlier. 029, that would be Mangialardi. He's in his typical camouflage car.
That's weird, because I downloaded the entire pack every single time.
Same here. But anyway, back to Paul. Where was I? Greg Palmer, Ken Roberts, Brush, and then Turner is here tonight. He had been practicing. He's an old guy, not old guy, but an old racer here. Had decided to come back racing, and so he had been practicing with them. And tonight it's going to be his first night with them. And 13th will be the 7 of Jones. Tim Hofsnetter is in here. He won the first race there at Talladega Challenge Series. John Godfrey, Brian Scullin, not in the 4 tonight. Chuck McClure, Denny Carroll. I'm just getting wrong with my numbers tonight. Names, Mac Paglia, Greg Lovell, Robert Breedlove, Brandstetter, Cody Lamas, Ulysses, Poppy Sandoval, Randy Waugh is in the house tonight. Hopefully Corey's doing well again. Billy Ellis or Mike Mangialardi, Dave Little, and Nate Balzer. And we got 2 blank spots at the end of it. That's a little bit weird, but wonder how that happened. But
Disconnects? I don't know. That's strange. Rodney Sellens and David Chin on that front row. The lottery qualify. They could opt to go to the back, but they did not opt to go to the back. The front is where it's at.
I tell you, I did not qualify that first round over on Thursday, and only because I never raced with the guys before, and so I go back there again if I do make it. I'm going to let the random qualify put me where it was. Same here, just good group of guys. You feel comfortable no matter where you go. Rodney Sullins with a great start there.
David Chin right behind them. They're no strangers.
Oh, then he's right on it. Brian O'San did get into the back of David Chin, but that momentum didn't really pay off. Rasan went back into Ken Roberts. Ken Roberts obviously gave him a good shot, pushed him right back up to Dave Chin, but I gotta shut my phone off.
Looks like who's that? That's Billy Ellis. Car is smoking, on fire. I wonder, that's first lap. I wonder if they're gonna maybe re-rack them. I guess we're gonna find out. Looks like we're not. We are a race. This is a race back league, so it's gonna be a race for 3rd place because Kazi probably will not try to pass Sullivan.
I'd be willing to bet you that just from what we're hearing and how, just how they felt about how last week's race went, I would really think they would be kind of like, all right, guys, I'm sure if you're up there in that room, their admins are saying, come on, guys, we can do better than this. But I think it's probably going to be one of those, you know what, you guys, you got to mess around. We're not going to restart it for you.
Right. Yeah,
would be my opinion.
Whoever got tied up in that, but here's the instant replay here. Nate Balser, I don't know why I don't have it hard. I'm going to say that's my fault, although I did download the pack. The pack might not be complete. Oh, it looks like a few guys just sort of slid what's going on up there is a bottleneck right around 17 of Chuck. Tell helicopter view will give us a better slow motion helicopter view here. Looks like the 7-Eleven had to check up for cyber. And then the 880 level got into the 17.
Like that accordion effect that we talk about.
Yeah.
Somebody lifted. You can see the 7 slow down a bit. Had to lift for whatever reason in front of him. Godfrey, he lifted, but then it just goes back, and it keeps going back until somebody gets into somebody, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the way Superspeedway racing goes.
Yeah, it looks like Balser and Ellis are the game just they got stuck together. That's weird. And you can tell, like, when that happens, that's a major damage, because you can see the camera shake here. These two cars, the game doesn't know where they are. And that just demolishes the cars, unfortunately. The Lasora's on fire. There's nothing left of Nate's car. Dave Little's in there, but it looked like he's okay.
Pretty good little pile up, though, for a first lap crash.
Yeah. They're still trying to repair it, though. Nate's sticking to it. He's on pit road. Everybody else is pitting. Pit lane number 1, the race off. This is live, by the way.
Yeah, I say Nate Balzer's driving his JLP car, that orange and white one that I know you've had it. Yeah,
I know I do have that. Yeah, because he runs that in. I thought he ran that in Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, he has the monster car usually too.
I don't use 2 computers anymore to do this. The car files should be in sync. You know what? We'll just blame Brian Wolf.
Perfect. I like that idea.
It's a great idea.
Was looking over at the
Anybody for driver interview or?
Oh, I forgot all about that. Do you think we should grab Nate?
Sure. He was in the meat grinder there from the see on the replay of the.
Hold on a minute. I got when you got a long list. There he is. Now, hopefully they reminded the people of that. So hold on a minute. Nate Balzer, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. Might have stepped away.
It's possible. Oh, car's gone. And pit crew just left. Everybody went home.
Everybody packed up. They're packing it up, and they're done.
Nate, you got us live on the air, bud.
Yeah, got you.
There he is.
Pretty gnarly little glitchy accident you guys had there.
Yeah, we seems like we barely got going, and there something happened up there at the front with 17, 7-Eleven, and 088, and I'm not sure, but everything got stopped, and then there was really nowhere to go.
That's kind of what looked like. It was a little bit of a checkup going on there, just kind of amplified through it. And then when you and Ellis got together, it's like you guys are almost stuck together, because the camera angles that we were getting were pretty crazy. It looks like you guys were getting shaken up like a martini.
Yeah, that was just Blaine, that was just an impossible situation to get out of. There was really nowhere to go. And it's pretty sad. I don't even think we made a lap yet. And so that's not going to be good for the points.
No. If you went in there in 5th, that's going to probably knock you down a little bit. But you still got 5 races after this. And you just go out there and, snag a couple of wins and get yourself right back up there.
I'm gonna definitely give it a shot. We'll just take it to the garage and get it all fixed up and see what we can do for next week.
Are you hanging around to watch the broadcast? You got stuff to do? What's going on the rest of the night?
Yeah, we're gonna shut down the rig here and go out there and watch your guys' great broadcast you do all the time.
Oh, shucks.
Oh man, you're gonna make us blush.
All right, I see your RV right there. You can see him.
10-4. I'll be right there watching, bud.
All right. Well, sorry for your luck, buddy, but always a pleasure to talk with you. So good luck next week.
That's what they call racing, huh?
That's right.
That's it. Thanks.
Nice talking with you, bud.
Yeah, you can see Nate's RV out there. He was the one holding up the flag. Where'd he go? That's not him.
I think he's holding up something different, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, there's a Canada flag out there. That's probably Graham McDonald.
I got kicked out there for a second, and I lost GNL TV tonight. So guess what? You get to be our statistician guy.
Cool. That'll work. Well, right now, the fastest lap of the night is Mark Paglia with 179 average. But we've only really done none. Actually, we haven't even done any laps at full speed yet. So
basically, the pace car so far is the lap leader.
Yep.
Get that.
Yeah, we did have one race with it. Pace car actually led the most laps.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that from a couple of years ago, or a couple of seasons ago.
Kelly Cos is still up front. Dave Chen outside, and we got Denny Carroll, Mark Paglia. That looks like Kelly Kaza and Brian Schillen. Then Robert Breedlove, Robert Spring back there in the 8, 6, 7, 6, 2, 6, 7, 8 spot. Then you got Brian Wolf and Mike Brush there in the top. That's your top 10.
Yeah, Robert Spring, that Micro Center car. I wonder if he went to Micro Center to build his new computer.
I don't remember where he did buy that. I think he just bought parts from somewhere, but could be where he did it.
That Canada flag might be Cyber, too. Forgot Cy Jones is out here.
What?
Fellow Canadian guy.
Oh, okay.
What if he's got the flag on his car? Yes, he does.
It's looking color scheme, that Sunoco colors. I always like that.
The Sunoco is awesome, and he's always running that. No matter what mod he's in, never changes it.
Haven't seen him running for a while, though.
Has he been here? I did not notice on the standings if he has been here.
I haven't seen. Let me take a look.
I'm going to say, yeah, he probably has. He's more of an RTG guy, but then again, there's a good handful of RTG guys over here too. So Kelly Causey leading this pack back to the green flag start. This is the end of lap number 5. We will be starting lap number 6. Thanks again for watching. Everybody in the YouTube chat, it's always cool.
Quick brush through there, and he has not run yet over here this season at ASR. So this is his first night race for ASR in this season.
First race, cool. Awesome.
Kelly Kaza, what a jump. I mean, he was right on it. Denny Carroll's even more than he was. Is going to get right to his rear bumper, give him a great little push. David Chen kind of did not get that thing going. Mark Paglia gave him a pretty good shot to keep him going, but just not getting the starts there. Tim Knofstetter on the bottom comes in, pulls in right behind Denny Carroll. Mark Paglia says, nope, I'm not staying up there. Wow, these guys just change lanes like that. That's the part that, you know, I struggle with. The changing of the lanes like that. These guys are so good at it.
Yeah, you really got to know the boundaries because
some of it where I struggle is with the 3 monitors now. And I'm still, as I always say when we play Valheim, that 2 side monitors, things are further away than they appear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with NASCAR, so I'm still trying to get used to the distance. Ken Roberts there getting that high line going.
Well, I mean, that thing too, you've been playing this sim for so long, you have to retrain your eyes. It's like some of the mods, I think a couple of the Xfinity mods have that little left side mirror, and I can't use it because I don't understand where the car is. I can see them, I just don't know where they are.
The new modified one had that small mirror there, and it is absolutely useless.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
You cannot. You'd want it set up so that if somebody had their nose, out there by your right rear tire, that you'd be able to see it, and you're looking at pit road, the inside wall when you go by.
Right.
Robert Spring pulls up on that high side in front of Ken Roberts there. He's going to make the charge up there with that old Dodge Micro Center car. They're making headway pretty good. They got up the side already past Brian Schillen up on the outside with Dave Chin. Now, we always see this, so that right now, everybody always pretty much wants to be in that middle lane.
Holy moly. Robert Spring, Ken Roberts, Greg Lovell, Mike Mangialardi, Brian Rawson just gained about 5 or 6, actually more, because it's 2 rows that they're passing.
Yeah, but
So
you
let's
look at
see.
it,
We can see Robert Spring. His position last lap was 7. Now he's going to be in first. So,
and you think about it, you watch what happened there. So we still don't understand the concept of why this happens, but as soon as you get one group on the high side, another group on that bottom side, it stalls out that middle lane. It's very, very weird why it does it. It seems to just stall that middle lane right out. Bottom lane, I don't think it ever really affects it as much. Now the guys are moving to the bottom.
they're going to bail on Robert, and Mangialardi's going to bail on Roberts and Lovell. Wow,
that may have been.
That changed.
Also,
They're
may
going
have
to
been
go
a
4
call.
wide.
That may have been a call by Robert Spring to just say, "Yeah, all right, guys, go ahead, go low. I'll get out. Got his lap led. That's the yellow flag is out."
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were borderline going to go 4 wide there, but they made it work. I don't know. I didn't see anybody crash. Are they under yellow?
It could be a French caution, debris, a debris caution.
Debris, yeah. I always make the cheese joke. If we've got debris, where is D cheddar and D mozzarella?
And DY.
I'm
Gotta
here
have them.
all night, everyone. www.tarnationtv.com. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Do.
Yeah. Canadian thing, it has to be.
Yeah, oh yeah. No doubt about it. Gonna back this up and see. Put it in replay here. We'll get your replay. When did they come out? They were gonna go 4 wide, but let me see here. I gotta get a view of the lights. Oh yeah, we must have just been at a camera shot of that because there's somebody backwards up there, I think.
I don't think the powwow session worked because 10 laps in and 2 cautions already. Everybody's going to make the trip down pit road. I'm sure you'll get one straggler in the back, and there he goes, Brian Rasson.
Oh, I think David Little might have thought he was clear in front of the 7-Eleven. I mean, John couldn't go anywhere. That was crazy, the way he just spun around and just kept going.
360
So
and go.
The 7-Eleven is holding his line, so he can't do anything. There's nothing he can do. Wow. That is the least amount of damage I've ever seen on a wreck like that in a corner. And how he did not hit the 53 is insane.
And then I think, unfortunately, though, that would be probably going to be called an incident on Dave Little.
Might be right. And he's on one of the parks that might watch how close he gets to the 53 here when he spins off the nose at the 7-Eleven. I thought for sure that in a corner wreck too. Look, wow. The front and back of that car and Mike Brush's car did not budge. That was wild.
I'd be curious to see Brian Rasson just gets his lap led. Now to see if he comes down, does his pit stop, 11 laps in. We know they can go about pretty close to 19 to 20 laps on tires, on fuel.
Fuel, yeah.
And not tires, because they can go the whole distance on tires pretty much if they wanted to. But
So I'm curious now. So Nate Balser and Billy Ellis are forced to retire from the accident. If that's deemed an incident against Little will be forced to retire also because he isn't a one-in park. He had one shot, and that may have been it.
yeah,
Wait to see what we'll see in the next couple of laps what race control says about that one.
yeah. From my angle of it, it looked,
It looks
glancing
like it,
over,
right?
glancing over there, it really kind of looked like he come from the high side down.
Yeah.
And John Gottfried didn't really change his lane, so we'll see how that works out. Inosong comes down.
And Brush, very fortunate to not get tangled in that.
Yes.
That was literal inches. front and back in that 83. Just
Our sound come down pit road. ASR HUD is coming down with them. Trying to find their get the rest of the cars. Turner's in this time. Cody Lamas. Chuck McClure. All came down just tired. I think some of the guys took tires. Would be the guys that come out later on. The rest of them just fuel only.
I wonder what the front of the pack they're opting not to pit.
I think how many stayed out?
A few of them did actually, but I'm thinking too, we're not that far into the run where, track position, like they're seeing it, like if there's, I mean, again, that wreck was nothing. David Little just did a little spinorama in front of the 711, so the yellow comes out for that, but nobody was damaged in it. But they're just thinking, there's something in the air maybe that doesn't feel right. They just keep that track position, stay up front, stay in front of everything.
Well, how many, you've got the GNL TV, so who was the first one that did pit? Palmer on the inside there, you're saying he didn't. Greg Lovell didn't. Ken Roberts, how far back does that go? You have GNL TV. That would tell you, unless they pitted on the first lap, and I don't think their first incident, I don't think anybody did, with the exception of somebody that may or may not have had tire issues. Here goes Palmer down. It's going to change the lineup.
2 stops. This is going to be stop number 3 for Palmer. Did you want to grab Palmer and pull him in here? I wonder why he's driving the RG.
Yeah, let's find that out. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. Greg Palmer, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. You got a mic? You got your mic on?
Sure do.
There it is.
Oh, there you is. So the first question is, why are you driving the 024 lane?
Well, this is Dennis McCarthy. I'm at Greg's house. We went to the race today, and Greg is so far out of the points that it didn't pay for him to drive. We just didn't know how to switch the names, so Ken's going to take care of it afterwards.
Okay, well that
Cool.
makes sense now. But when you do what you need to do when you get done in this race, you got to go to the refrigerator. You need to grab Palmer a beer and say, "This is from Rod Weston."
I sure will. I absolutely will, Rod. Yeah, we had a long day today. Sat in the 41 pit box all day long, so it was a good day.
Awesome.
So you guys are at Dover then?
Yeah, we're going back tomorrow too. We have hot passes.
Oh,
Very
nice.
cool.
How was the racing today?
That's why. I saw Greg had sent me a quick little video
I see it on
of the
Facebook,
pit
yeah.
stop, the pit stop on, with the 41, and I didn't, kind of put that together. So
Yeah, my friend's the car chief with 41.
very cool.
So he took care of us, and we had a great time.
Well,
And like I said, I'm going away in 2 weeks and I need a provisional, so Greg's not in the points. 2 provisionals will throw me out. I think I'm in 6th or 7th in points.
All right.
So I'm trying to salvage what I can.
You are 8th right now.
There you go.
But so no, basically I owe him a beer because he was in Italy, so it opened up one slot Thursday night, last Thursday, not last Thursday before, and I was able to make the show. So, all right, but well, you have fun out there then, and tell Greg we're
Yeah,
missing.
I'm trying.
She was out
This
here.
is a totally different wheel than I drive. I almost need a booster seat. It's weird when you jump in somebody else's rig. I got Greg right behind me. His like my pit crew.
Giving you pointers and telling you what to do, right?
10-4.
All right, we're gonna let you get back at it. Have fun.
Thanks, boys.
You. Good luck. Everybody keep in
explains
mind
it.
these are adults.
Yes.
These are grown men. That is fun though, man. He's able to jump. Like that would be so weird using somebody else's wheel. So
Oh,
the
what?
024 you see on your screen is not Greg Palmer. It is in fact Dennis McCarthy.
didn't have time to switch the name over on TeamSpeak.
Yeah, the one thing they forgot to do was switch the name in the game.
Well, in the game it would have been, they'd had to create
fine.
a whole new profile and all that
Yeah.
stuff, which isn't that big of a deal. But, then you got, no, this is the easy, quick, simple, and easy way to do it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
There's a race leader there, the 880 of Greg Lovell, being pushed by Ken Roberts. And Tim
Currently
Knopfler right
ninth.
behind him.
Currently, Greg Lovell came in 9th in points, 40 points out of Denny Carroll. So, and Denny Carroll's right there around him. Denny, not uncommon to see Denny Carroll near the front, especially, around the guys he's with, too. Knopf's there. We always see him up front. Greg Lovell's always up front. I mean, most of the guys that are up front right now are the guys you pretty much always see up there. Not saying that the rest of these guys are, aren't good racers. It's just, some guys race like I do. They want to stay out of trouble and stay in the back. Other guys race like Blaine does. He wants to be up there where Greg Lovell went leading. So,
And it's weird, like, we're all really good at this stuff, but it is the little tiny things that all add up.
Yep.
Like I'm always afraid in the turns to get too close to somebody. You don't want to spin people around. Where if somebody else, that millisecond of a lift, no, don't do that. Like, stay right on me. I'm like, man, I don't want to spin you. Like, internet lag them and around you go. But it's all those little things that add up, especially over the course of an entire race. That's why you see these guys up front, because they know how to hot pit, they know how to push, they know how to get pushed, and it's just, I'm usually hanging out mid-pack, just kind of watching it all happen.
I find very intriguing too, though. I practiced there again back on Thursday, and I had Brian Schillen. He was in the 4 behind me, and he was pushing me. I think he was more kind of just see, could I handle it? And he was pushing me in the middle of the corners, all around that whole track, no problem at all. And then it's very weird that you try to do that during the feature. I don't know what changes or why it changes, but it doesn't seem to work as well once you get out there in the race.
Yeah. Guys can still do it, but not as aggressively as you can previous. But it's something else, That's why these guys are up front. And it is just a couple tiny things that separate, the front runners from everybody else. It's hard to win out here with these guys. I would never imagine, I could never even fathom being able to beat guys like Greg Lovell, Ken Roberts, Tim Knopfler, Mark Paglia, Rodney Sullins. Like, it's right there, your top 5. And then you got Branstetter right there, Josh Batalik, and it's like, holy moly, Denny Carroll.
You'd have to go talk to Jimmy Johnson and find that lucky horseshoe.
Yeah.
Literally. You just have to be the luckiest guy in the world. See back there, Chuck McClure sitting there back and a bit around just inside the top 10 there, and he's kind of had enough of playing follow the leader, and a bunch of them guys up there, Schillen are behind him, David Chin, Kelly Kaza, Robert Friedlove, John Godfrey, and Cody Lamas have all lined up on that high side to see if they can, make up some ground on that high groove.
Schilling in the 62, that's different. He's usually running a 4, but 4 here is Hudson.
So he wasn't, I think last week was his first race here.
Right.
And somebody had asked him that, why are you,
Cyber goes around.
Oh no, they're going to take out a few other ones.
That is a big one, holy moly.
I asked him, somebody asked him why he was in the 62. And he said, well, I thought somebody had the 4, which is ASR Hood.
Hudson's got the 4. That was a big wreck. Roberts went for the pass at the last second, but was not able to get Greg at the line, so it'll be a 1-2 right there. And we'll back that up and see. I think Dave Little might have been caught in that one too. I love that paint job, and I saw it flying across my screen. Oh, nope, he was able to get through it. Someone got up in the fence, something awful. Oh, it was Brian Rawson. That was the blue and white car. That's an awful wreck. Cody Lamas involved in it. See if I can find a camera that works. That's the problem. Trying to find a camera angle that works. See where it started, actually. It looked like Breedlove and Cyber, and then Cyber goes down in the corner, shoots right back across the track.
And Rasan's not had the greatest of season, currently 15th in points. Only one top 10 finish so far this season, so that doesn't bode well for his season being great. And it's things like that where you're an innocent bystander coming into it, nothing you can do, and that's sometimes how your season may go. You just if it wasn't for bad luck, you wouldn't have any at all.
Oh man, yeah, Rawson getting pummeled. Fake Greg Palmer right there too in the 024. Dennis McCarthy involved in it.
So I'm seeing Ulysses Sandoval. Nope. So Dave Little stayed out. He was able to lead that lap. Sandoval stayed out as well, probably hoping that he could lead that lap. Robert Breedlove stayed out. Of course, his car is severely damaged. He probably hoped that he could have, led a lap, but he may try to, sneak out the next lap if he can, if Sandoval decides to pit, and then pit. Obviously, Breedlove's car is pretty beat up. Not quite as bad as Brian Rasan's, but we'll see. He might be able to fix Rasan's too. They're just going to have to a lot of hammer work and a lot of saw work to get that thing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that'll be missing the Valvoline Stein on the back of it will be gone.
Thinking.
I was looking at Turner's car, and I think that's supposed to be a Camaro, but
oh man. Let me see, Turner.
Nope, it's not. Rear tail lights. It almost looks like it might be Nissan. There's Turner's
29 to the tower.
36.
Oh, can you pull Brian into the tower? He's calling me on whisper. It looks like a Ferrari.
Well, that's it. It's a Ferrari. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mr. Wolf, what's happening, buddy?
Nothing. I was told to get you with Brian Rawson.
Okay, we will grab him.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can put me back.
No.
No.
Rawson went for quite the ride. See if we can get him on the horn.
Brian Wasson, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
What's up, bud?
I was looking back. You're 15th in points going in tonight. You've only had one top 10 finish. This is just not your season so far, is it?
Yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't.
I know you've got a couple of championships back when they ran the ASR ran the Aero 88s on Sunday night. I know you've got at least one over there, maybe more.
Yeah, you just got to come out and try to just get some wins, Just sometimes you got tough luck, and it is what it is. You just try to have fun,
Yeah, you got to put your nose down, tail up, and go get them is what you got to do next week, right?
Yeah, that was a pretty bad wreck. I don't think I've had a car they couldn't fix in a long time, but.
So
they shut her down, eh?
You became a pilot without a pilot's license, so you're flying. You need a little bit better flying lessons, I think. Blaine, do you have any questions for Brian?
I heard a voice in the background there. I think he may have muted himself. But yeah, man, that was a wild ride. When the car hits the top of the fence a couple times, it's probably
never
needs some
a good
repairs.
thing.
I'm surprised though, because like you said, they usually can fix the damage. The fact that they actually called it quits was that's interesting.
Yeah, I pulled in there and it said, we can't fix it, which I pretty knew that. I mean, but what's ironic is I actually have my pilot's license.
Nice.
Oh, God, sorry. I'm going to laugh at you, Brian,
fly?
but that's a good one. Pretty good. Sorry to hear about your luck tonight, and I'm sure we'll see you back here next week, and hopefully we'll see you in Victory Lane.
Yeah, 10-4 guys. Just hopefully have a caution free going forward, and everybody has a good race.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming to talk with us.
Yeah, I think he had somebody else in the room with him. I heard somebody talking to him in the background. He said he had a pilot's license. I was curious. We got to ask
That's
him.
cool.
We got to get an answer from what does he fly? Is he a helicopter pilot, an airplane? Like, does he own one? Probably not. Probably easier to maybe rent one. I don't know how that works.
Not
you
100%.
you could probably buy a helicopter.
Jeff,
I mean, depending on the size of the thing, you could probably buy a helicopter for the size for like the price of a car, maybe.
There are some helicopters, believe it or not, in the United States that you can buy and build, and you do not need to have a pilot's. I don't know about the pilot's license, but you don't have to be like helicopter certified.
Huh.
It's so small.
Yeah, there was this guy I followed on Instagram. He was out in the Rocky Mountains of like Vancouver, up in like Kamloops or whatever. He was a photographer, videographer guy. And he used to have cool videos when he had this little, like it looked like a helicopter with that big bubble on the front. Like if anybody was the show MASH, like those old, like, it wasn't an old helicopter, but it's just that super small
Style.
2-seater, and the passenger seat was always his bulldog.
Oh, nice.
Bulldog had his own little helmet to obviously because it's loud. You don't want to. Dogs' ears are very sensitive, so that he had the hearing protection on the dog and the goggles, and they would always be ripping. And unfortunately, the dog passed away. So the video that he had, his buddy, I can't remember the dog's name. I can't remember the Instagram channel's name either. But I was like, oh no, the dog passed away. Because he would always be up there with the dog. But yeah, like such a small little helicopter, like they can't cost more than a couple $100,000. I mean, you could buy an SUV for a couple $100,000. You could probably buy a cool little helicopter.
Car makes the trip down pit road. Rodney Sellens was the first one off from pit road. He's going to start on the bottom. They do have lane choice here. Only the leader can choose whether he wants to be on the top or the bottom. He decided to go to the bottom. But if you look behind him, well, then again, it doesn't matter. But he's got Tim Nostetter and Chuck McClure behind him, two guys that push him a little bit on Thursdays too, so that's probably a better choice. Hard to beat Greg Lovell on a start though, but he did get him. Yeah. Noster gave him just a good enough shove. That's Steve.
They're both. I was going to say they were both even until they got to that corner.
Yeah.
Rodney Sellens.
I'm going to see that. Usually see that, especially on the start. If they kind of get off there evenly and they get into that first corner, the bottom line always seems to get a little bit more. Whoa!
Oh my! Camera angle just changed and around.
Oh wow! Everything.
Do we have a yellow? Oh, Rodney's gonna get.
Gonna have a yellow. There was a lot of cars. The only ones that I saw so far that made it through there were Greg Lovell and Tim Noster.
Yikes!
McClure made it through.
Back, I forgot.
Denny Carroll made it through. And a few of the other cars that were, further back made it through that. Almost to me, if I had to guess, it looked like Rodney Sellens was going to go to the high side, or either that or he might have got just a little bit of a bump that just unsettled the car. Like he moved up a little bit there and then tried to get back down, and it was too late. Whatever happened probably killed his momentum enough.
The surge in that bottom line was extremely violent. Like you can see they're just trucking along, getting up to speed, and then something happened to Sellens.
I think, like you said, that
slowed
surge.
Down. I don't know if it was a surge. It looks like Sellens slows down. It looked like a surge, but I think it's the 38 losing power. Maybe he missed a shift. We might have to talk to Rodney.
Could be. Let's see if we can find Rodney Sellens here.
I don't know. We might want to talk to Rodney right now.
Okay, bringing him in. Rodney Sellens, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
I do, guys. What's going on?
We kind of wondering what happened there. It almost looked like you lost the gear, or?
Yeah, I believe fourth gear.
Yeah, right. It looked like a crazy surge from the bottom line, but I'm thinking, no, it was the opposite. You just stopped moving forward.
Yeah, that's 2 races in a row I've lost a gear, and unfortunately tonight it's fourth. So
And that's going to be a heartbreaker for you to run around there in third. Can do
yeah,
it.
that's tough, man. So I'm not going to drive around in here in third gear and just be a menace to them. I'm not racing into points. This is only my actual third race, and I'll be missing another one in a couple of weeks. So I was just here to have fun, and fun's over.
That's too bad.
Unfortunately for you, that we look like it was just strange. I thought first maybe it was either a bump draft gone wrong or something like that, and then when Blaine pulled it up, it kind of looked like all of a sudden your car just stopped, and we now know why, that you lost that fourth gear, and that just slowed you right down, right back into Noster. Nothing Noster could do.
Yeah,
Car
I
looks
hate
awesome
it for.
too, dude.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I kind of like this one. Did anybody else get messed up in that?
I think Mark Paglia was in it. I don't know who else was.
A couple guys went around, but it was on the back straightaway, so it didn't look too bad. We're gonna go back and take a look at it here too.
I did a grip roll and come out of
was
that
pretty
was
funny.
Yeah.
no damage.
Wow.
Right now, I have no damage. I'm like,
That
really?
transmission.
Yeah, other than a useless transmission.
Well, I remember on Sunday when you were racing up there on they were doing the Aero 88 series. You had a couple of races with transmission trouble up there, but it wasn't. I think once you lost fourth gear. The other one, I think it was a second or something like that. But
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess I'm hard on transmissions. I don't know. We were racing PRL when they used to do the double header Saturday nights, and I lost a motor in both races in one night. So I don't know what it is. These randoms don't do anything for this sim, though. That was a problem back 20 years ago, but the cars have changed, but this sim hasn't.
right.
And that's unfortunate because there's been more gears and engine problems in Thursday's race and tonight's race than NASCAR probably has in a whole season. So, and you just hate it because it usually causes a caution. So I hate it for people that got involved. I'm looking at your replay now, and I see cars spinning. I see David Chin hit the wall, and I just hate it. It doesn't do anything for us.
Yeah, and I know. I think I'm not sure what version of it. The NASCAR 2003 doesn't have the ability to turn that random breakdown off, but one of the earlier ones did. You could turn that off, and it's too bad that that isn't a feature that could be turned off, and then stuff like that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. So, but it is what it is. I guess I'll wait another week, see what happens.
All right. Well, thanks for coming down, talking to us, and clarifying for that for us. And sorry about your luck, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna watch a little bit of the race. You guys have a good night. Thanks for hollering at me.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for the good painting you do too.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Roddy.
See you, Blaine. Thank you, sir.
Oh, bring him back in.
Hold on. We gotta grab him. Wait
He's
a
gonna
minute.
shout out Dad.
Yeah, I know, and I messed it up. Hold on.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Rodney.
Oh.
Come on back. You can shout out to Dad. I pulled you away just a little bit too quick.
Well, Dad and Eric and Kevin. My dad, my cousin, and a friend. So I tell them hello. Thanks for watching.
All right. Sorry about that, but good luck next week, bud, and thanks for talking with us again.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
Just saw here the 136 of Turner. Sean Turner got around there, and the thing rolled a couple times and got disqualified. And then it changed to retired. And that is a Ferrari. And not really sure what happened there. He got caught up in the wreck, and then that was it.
Disqualification probably right there. He's going backwards, and he might have been gone backwards for too long.
Oh, okay. Oh, somebody around on pit road there. That's 7-Eleven John Godfrey. Drivers making their pit stops here on lap 26.
And it's funny, this is the version of Talladega that John Godfrey has made pit road 10 feet wider. And they still don't have room enough.
Yeah, they still run out of space.
Well, it's like we talked about the bash there. I was telling you how.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling you how, if you think, when we watch racing and whatnot, or that was the bash, where was that? It was somewhere, it was a Mexico race on Tuesday. And I always told you that, why they put green grass in the infield is because if it was asphalt, we would, drivers would try to use it. And we went down to the Mexico race and exactly what they were doing. Off some of the corners, they weren't even on the track at all.
Yeah. And then they actually modified that track and put like little curbs in there
jumps
to keep those guys from doing that.
Yep. Currently, right now, after everything is shaken up, few pit stops and whatnot, Denny Curl is out front. He is the current point leader right now. Outside row is Randy Waugh, Hey Corey, and Dave Little, who's had, an interesting evening tonight. He's been caught up in a few of these situations, not 100% of his own making, but him and Mike Brush there in the second row back. Both of those guys are the one park drivers. David Chin still in the race, which is awesome to see. Mike Mangialardi on the high side there. Then Ken Roberts and Robert Spring, and then Jones and John Godfrey are your top 10 going to the start. You just wanted to show off the 510. I see that over there.
It was funny. I had to hang on the 510 a little bit longer so he passed the 880 again, because I would have gone back to the 880 twice. I'm thinking, that's the car I painted, so everybody's gonna think I'm lingering on my stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They got to time the cycle.
John, I'd say Randy Waugh was on it on the start, got a great start. Little bit better start than Denny Carroll, but Dave Little was right on the rear bumper of Denny Carroll and gave him a really good shot. That moved him out. He moved him out enough so he was able to go up into that second groove and get out in front of Randy Waugh. They are going to come at him kind of fast. See, that's what I was going to say. He's going to move down because that inside line had more momentum.
See, and David Little still here in the 083. Yep. I thought he would have been charged with first incident on that one lane change there, but if they deemed it a racing deal on the fly, I mean, they can always deal with it after the race as well. If they do end up giving them a post-race penalty and we dock the lap.
And so that would be kind of one of the situations where, if he felt like, well, it wasn't my fault, they don't have time to go and review it during the race and whatnot. So he gets to stay out there. He gets to finish the race. But if they do deem that it, was his fault, I don't know where the penalty would go, but it's potentially that he might not be here racing next week. He may have a week off. So Dave Chin in that middle groove with Ken Roberts and Kelly Costa there. He so far has got out front, but hasn't got to the start-finish line yet out front. So hopefully he can keep that momentum going good enough. It'll be close on this one here, I think. Got it, but look on the high side. Brian Gullen is gonna...
Looks like Schilling gonna get it.
Gullen's got it. That was crazy.
That was really close. What was the timing on that one? Zeros. I got zeros on mine.
You got to go. You go to the 62, and then you got the 88,000. You got 28,017, the 55,007, the 41,008, and they were all right on top of each other there.
So Schilling by a hair leads that lap, and that's actually his first lap led of the night. So bonus points all around.
And then there again, that mystery we always talk about. Once they get three wide, that middle groove just shucks them back for some reason. I don't know if it's they lose the nose, the air off the nose. Would think it would help, but maybe it disturbs the air enough so that they lose it. I'm not really sure why it is, but
I'm not used to Schilling not being in a Kodak before. This is cool. I can see him in a different car. Yeah. Sorry I stepped on you there, but yeah, that middle line, you see it go backwards. It's weird.
And it's funny, you look at it now they've kind of figured it out. That top line moved down to the middle, and now that middle line is the faster line, you know?
Yeah.
Denny Carroll, he sees that, you know, that sinking ship on the bottom, and he moves up into that upper line, so that way he can get that, you know, keep up with that lead group. But you know, Denny Carroll, he's going to be using that rear view mirror, keeping an eye on that lower line, the upper line. You'll see probably him, Greg Lovell, couple, you know, all these guys are really good at this, but you'll see them if that lower line starts to pick up that momentum, they'll start dropping down in front of the cars.
It's a very well-designed track in conjunction with the setup they're using, like where you can, if you got the numbers, you're going to railroad those guys, and then they slide back down and just add to the numbers. So it's like, oh man, that lane sucks. I'm like, no, it only sucks when you're outnumbered. you know? And then they do the flip-flop. You can see Dennis McCarthy head to the pits there.
The thing about it that I don't like, and it's just only my, you know, kind of myself. Other people do complain about it, but to me, just the only thing I like is coming off on that bottom. It seems to really tighten up. A little too tight for me. Some people, you know, they don't have a problem with that, but to me, it just seems to be a little bit too tight. I lose so much time down there trying to stay off the car on the outside.
The bottom does take a lot of concentration not to wash up half a lane.
Yes.
Where I prefer the middle or the top side. Or the top side, we'll go 4 wide. Let's go, baby.
Off of 4, though, it's not as bad. 3 for 2.
Yeah, 2 must be a little bit tighter, I guess, eh?
Something, I'm not sure what it is. Wouldn't think it would be, but you know, just the way it comes off there, it just doesn't seem to work real well. He goes down a lap there, wisely goes to the high side, let everybody go by.
Schilling comfortably here, 4 laps into leading this thing.
Glad to see, you know, we're just about halfway. Dave Chin's still out there. Glad to see that. Probably shouldn't have said anything. I'll probably ruin his night for him now. But
Season 1 was a bad season here on Saturday for David. I don't think he finished. He may have got through 1 race. Kazi with a big right turn there. Wow. Nobody beside him, so all is well.
Season hasn't been that much better. He's down there at about 34th in points. You know, he just, I don't know, it's just, the racing gods sometimes are not on his side.
Yeah.
Celebrate the victories that he has, just because and then a lot of times it's not his own fault. It just, stuff happens around you and you just can't avoid it.
That's the thing. Sometimes you're just stuck in the eye of the storm. You never cause a wreck. You never, drive away from one you caused or get stuck in one you caused. It's just you're always in there with something else happening. You're like, why do I keep something? It's just like a magnet. You're just like a magnet to disaster sometimes. You're like, why do I keep getting caught in this stuff?
Pretty good little 7-car breakaway, though. Although Paglia or David Chin there and Paglia are starting to catch back up to him. Right now, they're at that point of the race where it's just let's log laps. Let's just keep going. Let's log laps. None of this side-by-side racing.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Chillin is not the points. He just comes over here and plays it once in a while. And like I said, I think this is his second race here for this season. The rest of the guys, you got Mark Paglia there. He is not in the top 10 in points.
So I'm curious on the pit strategy here, because these guys would have to get to lap 47 or 48. 46 maybe, if you can push it 20 laps. Some guys can push it 20 laps. So 46 or 47. Another 10 laps on what they've got. I don't know with how the pit stops have been going. I don't have the numbers.
Right, and but we don't see too many of them over here do the, what, if I get here, I can make it from here. I haven't really seen a lot of that happen. Most of the time you see the guys will go
Run it.
almost to the top point where they're going to about run out of gas. Then they start pulling in a little bit earlier trying to do that. But it's Jones. I don't know if it looked like he almost was back there with Brandstetter. Might have got a little tap that kind of just disrupted his car just a little bit, but it was a good save on his part. Nothing changed up front. Brian Shellen's still out there out front.
See, super speedway pit stops too, you're at the whim of like who you can go with. You don't want to go by yourself. If we hit lap 48, okay, I can make it if I go now and get full service, but if you're all by yourself, you've kind of messed yourself up. You need to have 3 or 4 buddies that are willing to do the same deal.
The thing you want too is, you just for example, you take Brian Schillen, Chuck McClure, Tim Noster, Rodney Sellens, Ken Roberts, all these guys run together on Thursday, and they all know how each other race. There's people you want to go down with. Not necessarily it happen that way all the time, but there's usually some of the drivers you just look for. When you go down a pit road, you guys are all going to get in there. You're going to get to right down to the pit road speed. Maybe do a little bit of hot pit, blend, take 2 tires, maybe no tires, just fuel, and get out. And you want to get out there together and get back up to speed, get that momentum going, get tightened up into that draft so you guys can be faster, quicker, you know what I mean? And if you get out there and they get separated, then you're at the mercy of the rest of the drivers around you to try to get. We've seen it how like 2 drivers get together, another 2, then maybe 3, and then they slowly but surely work their way together, but you lose so much time doing that.
Go down a lap again there, the number 4. He will. Oh, not again. Sorry, he is now a lap down. He was on the lead lap up until that point.
I don't know if he was involved in one of those episodes that got him damaged. Car didn't look too bad when he went by, but
no,
it doesn't mean just because it doesn't look this mod has a pretty good damage mod, but we've seen Rodney Sellens and a few of these guys lose the rear bumper lid, and the car looks like it's bent up back there, the spoiler jacked up a little bit, and as long as they were in between a group of good cars, didn't really seem to slow them down. We've even seen Rodney Sellens pull out with somebody behind him and able to make moves towards the front, but obviously if he probably was out there by himself or nobody behind him, it was obviously here it's not going to be as good, but he needed the help with people around him to be able to stay with him. I think tonight so far the only one that has the rear bumper missing, that is Robert Breedlove, but his car is pretty hammered, front, rear, left, everywhere. So
he got
he's
all
not. They said we're not going to do this. They pulled 2 spark plug wires off just so it won't go that fast.
Yeah, like we're talking about like that rear damage. Like if you had, like right now we're looking at Paglia here in second place. If he had, only rear end damage, probably would be fine. Yeah. We're watching him do 200, 201 down the straightaways here. Speaking of speeds, 201.248 mile an hour. Oh no! Same spot. Everything's been happening off of 2 tonight.
Yeah. And that's I see that one there. That one had brush involved in it.
It involved a bunch of people. Yeah.
Racing back right now. Danny Carroll on the bottom, trying to see if he can, get himself up a few more positions. The guys dropped down there to get, just see if they could do anything more, but not much luck.
Yeah, with the 201.248 mile an hour average speed, that was Brian Wolf, fastest lap tonight so far.
So, you were saying they can't, if they pit now, they can't make it from here. So how would you go about that? Think about that.
They can't. There'll still be, if they pit now, there's still going to be like, well, plus some yellow flag laps.
But
You'd still be 5 short easy, I would think.
now the question is, do you being out front there, do you come down pit road? Do you take fuel, maybe tires? Probably wouldn't be tires. They didn't want to risk the chance of having a air gun fail, or having the random kind of things that do happen on a pit stop that could slow you down a little bit. And
I would just fuel only. That's what I would do.
Does somebody get out front?
I'm sure.
Does a few people get out front, get ahead of these guys? Yeah, they're on a different pit cycle, but everybody's probably going to have to go again. See, David Chin stayed out, so he's probably going to go try to see if he can get his lap led. Probably hasn't led Monday night. You would know that. My GNL TV is down.
David Chin has led 0. But this will be the first for him.
Yep. Every point helps, Looking at the chat, see Mackenzie Weston's finally decided to jump on. Tried to call me. Can't hear the phone. We turned it off. Turned the sound off so we don't have to worry about that. But
David Little has retired tonight.
I didn't see that episode to see whether or not he was part of it, or maybe he felt like he had caused the incident. I don't know. Brian Schilling was the first one off from pit road. So David Chin, Cody Lamas are the only two, other than the lap down cars of Robert Breedlove and ASR Hood, that stayed out. David Chin obviously to lead a lap. Probably Cody was trying to see if he could maybe get out there and lead a lap, but
yeah, I'm curious now, under yellow flag conditions, if they go now, would Chin be able to make it?
I think you'll see probably more guys in the back stop again. David Chin's going to have to stop and get maybe a half a can or maybe a full can, where, Brian Schilling and the rest of the guys are just going to go get a splash. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they all go back down pit road and, get a splash of fuel. We are going to have 2 lucky dogs this time. That's going to be ASR Hud and Robert Breedlove. This will put ASR Hud back on the lead lap and put Breedlove back to just 1 lap down.
Chin stays out again. I wonder, he might... that's the problem, though. If the lights go out right now, he will not be able to...
Right, but you've got 2 lap down cars, so that usually adds 1 more lap to it. So I would imagine it's going to go 1 more time around.
Let's stay on. Right.
That, you get 1 more lap when you have lap down cars.
What? They might be able to make it. I mean, man, it is going to be close, dude.
Chin's not going to be able to make it, but everybody that pitted that time by...
If Chin pits now, he will.
Pretty good chance, yep. Guys out front, if you're Brian Schilling, you're going to be out front. You're going to be pulling the whole field. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen this happen before, where they've all of a sudden, instead of doing 90, right, 90 to 200 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway, all of a sudden we just saw they were all down about 190. And we
the whole way around, yeah. We're in the draft. They're up over 200, and then they're like, "Oh wait, they only do 192." Doing
and we were looking at it going,
"Feel safe."
We were going, "What are they doing?" And at that time, they couldn't make it. So nobody was saving fuel to make it. They were trying to save enough fuel so it was half a can versus a full can.
Right, and the crazy thing was everyone was doing it.
Yep. Yeah.
Anybody could have pulled out and passed all of them without any drafting help.
Yep. And that's the same thing that
you need
NASCAR in real life is dealing with right now. That's pretty much all the Superspeedway races. And they get to that certain point where they think, well, I might be able to make it on fuel, if I save. And of course, there's a bunch of smart people up there. They know what they're doing. They, just have decided that, we're just going to cruise around. We're going to save fuel. Like I told you,
Everyone, yeah. This is going to be an everybody.
Oh, no.
Maybe not.
Oh,
Carol stays in.
Carol, Ulysses Sandoval.
Ulysses, Branstetter, Cyber, and Spring all decide to stay out. I think if you're pitting right now, I think you can make it. Because we still have one more slow lap to go. And like 47,
Brian Robson now in the chat.
It's going to be close no matter what.
Yeah.
These guys who are pitting now definitely have more of a chance of getting there.
Yes. But the guys that are staying out, I think they're probably banking on another caution. And they can coast a little bit. You can see the guys that are out there front right now, you can see they're clutching. And how you tell is that when they hit the clutch, doesn't make any logical sense in this sense, but when they push the clutch in, the car actually squats. It's really weird why the game does that, but it'll squat and it shows that that they've pushed in the clutch and they're just coasting. So looking at the chat, you got Brian Rosson in there, and he said, probably my worst wreck in my racing career. That, we would second that. That was a pretty hard hit.
You can hear the throttle on the 41. He's clutching right now.
Yep. But we've heard a lot. We've talked to Denny Carroll at different times, asking him, these guys got this down to a science. They know if they take a half can or a splash, I think they said they can do about almost 2 laps. Take a half a can, we know that we can do, 6 laps. We take a full can, we know we can go about, 8 laps or something. They've got it right down to a science. So though, yes, it's probably pretty close, but you can save, I think it's usually, I don't know about the super speedways, but you can usually save, probably a lot more fuel under cautions, but by clutching you can save it even more. I don't remember what the ratio is on the super speedways, but that's what they're banking on. I bet you they're banking on they're going to be another caution, and that'll give them the ability to make the rest of the show from there.
Sandoval, starting in second, has shown 10. He's made 10 pit stops tonight.
Wow.
So Greg Lovell, Cody Lamas has made 11. Danny in first, he's only made 3. So he's actually made the least amount of pit stops tonight, of course, from the cars running. He's made only 3. Everybody else has made more than 3 stops. So the 41, he's going to have to stop again because he opted not to pit that last time. So.
Well, looked to me like a little tight on the exit of the turn 2. Slid up the track a little bit. Luckily, Branstetter got right behind him, gave him a good shot, kept him up to speed. Third groove started out there on the high side. David Chin. Is it Brian Wolf? Well, Chin's behind him.
Chin and Wolf together, yep.
Yep. Their cars are painted very similar from the back.
Yep.
So it looked kind of like it was Chin leading, but it was not. I'm sorry, that was Brian Wolf.
Cars out of the race this evening: David Little, Dennis McCarthy, Sean Turner, Rodney Stellins, Brian Rawson, Billy Ellisar, and Nate Balser. Of course, the 024 says Greg Palmer. It's actually Dennis McCarthy.
As we found out in a quick little interview with him, he's at Greg Palmer's house.
He's using Greg's computer, but was able to use his own paint scheme, so that's cool.
Yeah. It's neat, how often can you say in one of these games that you actually have met somebody you race with out there? I've met about 5 or 6 of the guys that I've raced with online, and not counting people like here up in my area, like my friends and stuff that all race together. Just people that I've met racing online. We used to do LAN parties, and a few of the guys would come up from New York City, hang out with us and, have a good time. And I've gone down to North Carolina and, met a few of the guys I race with down there.
It is a great thing with the internet. It just brings us all together. I know people online now for a long time.
Yep.
Actually never met in person. Hope to do it one day.
Like I say, Robert Springs planning a trip up here in July. He's going to come up and hang out. We're going to take him down and show him where I actually physically race.
In the old days of YouTube, I was friendly with a guy who had a channel that I used to watch. It was hilarious. The sketch comedy stuff he used to do with his friends and his brother. Hilarious, just janky, very, like run and gun type stuff. Like just with mom's camcorder. They were putting together some hilarious stuff. And they actually contacted me because I would interact with the channel a lot. The stuff was hilarious. He's like, hey, you want to do something? Like maybe send in some stuff. So they have like these viewer submitted things. Just that now here we are, 15 years later. And we text each other all the time. Always have. And you just became buddies. I've never met him. And, since then he's got 2 sons. When we first met, he didn't have any kids. So it's just crazy how you grow with these people. I've never met the guy. He lives down in St. Louis, Missouri, or near St. Louis. He lives in Missouri somewhere. But
talk up the last 2 laps led by Ulysses Puppy Sandoval. But yeah, look at that. Same thing with you and I. You and I, we play games together. Other than this, and Robert Spring, like I said, is coming up and visiting you. Yeah, it's kind of neat how you make friends with this. And I know a lot of the drivers that I've raced with that a lot of them got together and hung out. So
even Jeffrey Elliott will post pictures. Him and Bob Dixon and Chris. Jeff and Chris are brothers. But then they've got they've met with Dixon, and Dixon's not the only one. Like there's been a bunch of guys. It's like that's crazy. So Spring, Robert's actually making a point. Like you guys are gonna be able to get together and go to dinner and go to lunch, do whatever you do.
Sometime he's going to come up in July. He's bringing the old computer and his race simulator. We need to do some work on it, so we're going to modify it a little bit to make it better for him. But he's going to come up, hang out for about a week, I think he said. So we'll be playing a little Valheim, a little bit of racing, taking him around to show him, the sights up here. Going to take him and show him the track where I cut my teeth, and the infield of that track's where I race go-karts. And going to show him Loudon. And, probably going to show him the White Mountains or Canaan, just different racetracks around the area. And
that's cool. He's actually able to spend a few days up there.
Oh yeah, because they're at my house. They're talking about roughly around a week.
I like how he's bringing the computer too, so we can actually have an old school LAN party. Just hook up a couple of computers and go racing.
He'll be in my spare bedroom. I'll have them all set up, and he's basically bringing his old one because he doesn't want to bring his new one. I don't blame him there. And he had bought a simulator, and he wants to be able to wanted to try to change it up a little bit, and what better place to bring it to a fabricator, so.
Yeah. Oh, so he just doesn't have an old school wheel strapped to the desk. Robert actually has like a
He has a simulator, but he doesn't have it set up yet.
Gotcha.
Needs a little bit of work trying to figure out things to make it a little more comfortable for him, so we're going to do that.
Nice. Ulysses and Cy Jones.
Say Cy's up there. He's been involved in a few incidents. I don't know about really of his own making, but he's right up there, still running stout. We're getting down to it, about 12 laps to go. Now the question is fuel,
Mm-hmm.
U-Man stayed out. We know Cy stayed out. The inside line just did not form up. And Denny Carroll, who was the leader when this thing started on the restart, he is way back in 9th spot right now. Just doesn't have, he's got Brandstetter behind him, but just no other help behind him to get him up there. No one from the upper line is going to drop down until they start to make up time and get that momentum build up. Then you'll start seeing people drop down to get in front of them. But with just 2 of them, it's not going to happen.
I mean, that's the thing. There will definitely have to be pit stops. Some of these guys might not have to, but I don't know. It's going to be close.
Going to be close.
The guys that don't have to, I don't know, man. Sometimes it gets so close because I no wonder yellow flag, you're doing 70 mile an hour pace speed. And that's saving you about a half lap every lap. So you kind of gain a little bit.
Plus clutching, that adds a little
Plus
more.
the clutching, yep. So you're amplifying that.
You
Now,
also
if
look
they
at-
were able to save though that 1 or 2 laps to be able not to pit, we know
Noster and Schilling McClure pitted. And we think they can make it. But think about it. What's the whole line doing right now? Nobody is really trying to get out and lead a lap right now. Noster, Schilling, McClure, Ken Roberts, I guarantee you, they're just saving fuel.
Yeah, they're letting Ulysses do the work. And he's not lifting either. They're still doing about 197, 198
Absolutely.
right here. So
Notice the one thing. Noster is not
lifting,
pushing side.
just a little bit.
You notice, Noster is not pushing side. Brian Schilling not pushing Noster. You know what I mean? We see these guys when they go down the backstretch, they're just right underneath there. They're pushing for all they're worth. None of them guys are doing that. They are saving fuel. They want to make sure they have enough. They're just keeping the distance just right, letting those 2 cars in front of them be the ones that burn up their fuel.
Well,
When
you
get
always
down to
talk
it-
about the rubber band effect. So if he's able to let Cyber pull him in, and then you can kind of do a little bit of a clutch and just kind of go back a little bit, and then pull you up.
Well,
and then
I just saw
go back.
McClure clutch. Down the backstretch, McClure
Right.
just clutched.
Yeah.
Just did it again.
Yeah.
Still going. He's not hitting the clutch for very long, but just enough so that he's not using fuel. That adds up. You do that time and time again. That will add up to the point.
I think Nosker might be doing it too, just because, like you said, the gap between him and the 7.
Yep.
He's able to kind of, once he starts to gain on the 7, you just sort of do a little no gas clutch, and you're not going to lose because you're stuck in that draft. Where you can see Cyber and Ulysses are right on each other.
Yep. That's what I said. You just see the difference. We've seen these guys so many times. Nose to the push. They're not doing that. None of the guys there. I just saw Denny Carroll clutch a little bit down the back stretch. Noster just did it. Yep.
Maximum speed either. They're a little bit about 5 mile an hour under where they could be. Usually they're doing about 200 going into the turn, about 195.
You think about it though, okay? Ulysses Sandoval and Cy Jones, they're probably flat out. Okay? So 2 cars, obviously.
Yellow.
Whoops, we have got a caution. This changes a lot of it. Now, can Ulysses make it? And the rest of the guys make it. Are we going to see anybody come down Terre Road up in the front? Somebody in the back? Why not? If you're the last car there, you've got nothing to lose. Why not go get some fuel? Possibly, nobody can make it if they decide to go the rest of the way, and if you're the only one that can, you might come out with a win. But I almost think you'll see Ulysses Sandoval and Cy Jones come down pit road. It's questionable what Noster and Schilling, McClure, them guys are going to do. You get a little bit further back where Denny Carroll is. If he's even questioning it, he'll be on pit road.
Looks like Mike Brush in the 53, they were getting around him. He actually tapped the apron, lost control a little bit. Him and Chin got together. And that'll be the cause for the yellow. Wow, I'm actually surprised the yellow came out. Because Chin actually spun across the nose down in a no man's land there, but he was on the track just long enough.
You had cars coming behind him. You had
That's
Randy,
the thing, yeah.
Randy Waugh back there
coming
coming. The game sees that as a potential problem here.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens. We're going to come up on pit road here. So far, nobody.
Guys in the back probably will. There comes Robert Spring.
Yeah, which he's back far enough makes sense.
You're gonna lose like 2 spots. You might as well guarantee it, right?
Dave Chin, he just spun, so come in and take 4 tires. You're already they're already that far back. So Spring's got to try what they're not something different. So he's going to come in, top this thing off with fuel, maybe even take tires. If there's only one other car out there that stayed out with him, I'd take 4 tires. Why not?
Yeah. New yellow, sure.
Doesn't take tires. Fuel only for Robert. Fuel only for Dave Chin. I would have thought maybe they would have taken tires, when you're the only two, but they may not have been paying attention and seeing that they were the only two that went down pit road. And now we know, we're pretty sure that Knopfler and Schilling and back can make it, because they were the ones that pitted the very last time under the last caution. Denny Furl did not pit, but he's, further back. Although he was running that bottom groove for quite a few laps with Brandstetter behind him, and that's burning fuel because, he's not going to lift down there. He's trying to go as fast as he can. So that right there probably hurt him a little bit on fuel. Cy Jones, he was pushing Ulysses Sandoval pretty good, but I don't think he was in any kind of savings mode. Just have to wait and see, and hopefully Ulysses or Cy don't run out in front of the field on the last lap or with 2 to go and take everybody out just because they can't go,
Yeah, I forget about that. If they miscalculate, they're in row 1.
Side by side in row 1, so
Definitely didn't make it.
I see Brush went down.
Again, yeah, and Brush last second.
And Robert Breedlove just going to go down. And that's when you get down to this point of it with 6 to go there, they're going to have to, they want the lap cars to drive through to go to the back. So it's just a simple thing that when it gets down to it, the lap cars go to do a drive through the second time by. That's all they are required to do. They're not required to stop, take tires. They're not required to do anything. They're just required to do a drive through, and that puts them in the back so that the lead lap cars can all battle it out. Strangely enough, Robert Spring comes in this time, takes 4 tires. So, but, that tires are going to help some, but in this game, you need help. I mean, you need someone that's going to stick with you and push you, so. Interesting to see, he's currently in the 18th spot, whether or not he can, how many positions that he does make up with the new tires, and I'm sure they just top it off in fuel and go, you got nothing to lose.
These guys up front are going to be something else now.
Yeah.
Not pitting. I mean, I'm guessing they think they can make it, because if they needed fuel, this was the time to do it, because you would not lose the pack. You just saw the 931 come up the outside there, and these lights go out on the pace car. He'll be able to go around. Breedlove will be the lucky dog. He'll get one of his laps back, so he'll be 2 laps down.
So I believe we're going to see a green-white checker. Really do, because we're on the lap 4 to go now. We're going to get 4 to go when we get to the line. It's going to come around a green, white, and then checkered. So, might be. It's going to be close.
It's going to be exciting, that's for sure. Because we got Cyber and Ulysses in the front row. We're not sure what their fuel is looking like. They got one last time to pit. If they want to do it, they can do it right now, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
The only ones we know for sure.
There goes the commitment cone, so they're done.
The only one we know for sure that's going to make it is Robert Spring. Was it Dave Chun? They come down and got
every
fuel.
time. Every time.
We know they're going to have enough, and Brush just went down pit road, so I'm sure he's going to take fuel.
Brush went down the last 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? They're going to have enough, but the question is everybody else? Obviously, I'm thinking, from like this kind of sort of, Brandstetter, Schilling are probably okay. Just a question of whether Ulysses and Jones, or I know Denny Carroll, I forget who else had stayed out with them. Be interesting to see what's going to happen here.
Make sure to join us on Tuesday night. We'll be live at the Maverick Cup Series at Dover, because they mirror the actual NASCAR schedule. And then we're back here on Thursday, the Talladega Challenge, Season 68. And of course, next Saturday is the 23rd of May. We'll be right back here. Premier Talladega Superspeedway Series at ASR. Race number 6 of 10.
And hopefully I can make the show on Thursday. We'll see.
Yeah, that's usually a knockout qualifying situation.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but we'll see what
I
happens.
think they had like 16 cars. I think it was 16 or
15 or
17
16,
cars.
yeah, something like
Fighting
that.
for 10 spots.
Yeah.
They say 10 spots, but the top 30 in points automatically make it. But if somebody can't make it, like we say, the first race, Greg Palmer couldn't make it, so that got me in. This last week, Randy Waugh wasn't there. There was a few other drivers that weren't there, so they actually took 13.
Yeah, because the 30 in points from the previous season are guaranteed to start every race in the following season. But then, yeah, sometimes people can make it, and sometimes they cannot.
So that's
Pace
for the
car is
first
going to
three.
get out of the way.
Yep. Who's going to get the better run? USC's Poppy Sandoval or Cy Jones?
Who's going to get the better push? I mean, Novsker and Schilling are doing the pushing.
Yeah. I think if you look behind them, there's a lot of pushing power right there behind them. So
I don't know what line I'd rather be in. I mean, this league is
I
stacked.
know I'd rather be on the high side, but
If anybody was wondering what ASR stands for, it stands for All-Star Racing League. Looks like the top line got stacked up a
did
little
not
bit,
get a
but
great
it's
start.
okay.
Ulysses was right on it. Oster right to the back bumper of that Camry, just push.
Now, where Ulysses stayed down there. I wonder if
That outside
Novsker
line
and
did not
Clear
get the
could move
momentum.
on. There they go. Ulysses unable.
And get up there. Novsker got up there a lot sooner than he was able to go up and block.
Yep.
This is going to help Cy Jones out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He's right behind them guys. Ooh.
Oh, Kazi getting on the inside of Ulysses, but nobody's going
Nobody's
with the
there to help
zeros.
him. Nobody went down with Kazi.
Yeah.
It's
2
gonna
zeros
hurt.
down there
Ooh.
by himself.
Be 4 wide. I
They're
think coming to the line maybe.
They're trying to. Holy moly.
Wow.
Got a bit helicopter view right now. A boring camera angle, but not all the time. Right now, it shows exactly what's going on all the way through this field here.
Cy kind of got stuck in the middle there, and they wanted to go on the high side of him, and they were going to the bottom of him. They were just everybody looking for racing room.
Oh man,
I'm chilling.
McClure goes low. Ulysses with the push. Novsker going to get hung up there, and we got Schillen coming hard on the top side there, being
gonna
pushed
say-
by Roberts and Lovell.
Watch that top line. Yes, McClure had a good run there, but you saw how that little shakeup really allowed that upper groove to get a good run. It's too bad they didn't
It's
have
still
more people
coming.
at that time. Robert Spring and
Yeah.
Brandstetter are coming. They're going to come in. They're going to help. But they
man.
needed him there a little bit earlier.
Kazi got pushed all the way back. He's that you can see
Yep.
that red 0-0. He's back there now. I mean, probably in 12th.
Nasser, your leader a lap ago, and
Yeah.
now just going backwards in that middle groove with Cy behind him. This is going to help a little. Whoa, boy.
Lamas wants the middle, but so do those other guys.
Robert
looks
Spring did not able to follow Greg Lovell, Ken Roberts and Schling wanted to get from that high side. Ooh, Kali Kaz around in the back. Oh, Brandstetter on his lid. This is going to be for the win. McClure.
Yep. Man, they were 3 wide across the line there, so yellow is up, and this is the white flag. So we'll let the race come to an end here. It looks like McClure.
McClure looks like Mike
be the winner.
Angelardi. And Ulysses Sandoval, according to our scoring right now.
Yep. You said Kazi went
I-
around back there, eh?
Yeah, Kazi
Wow.
and Brandstetter somehow.
Was up like 3rd, and he's back there, and like, where did he end up? Back there in 18th. Wow.
You look at,
In
like I
one
said,
lap.
you look at Tim Nasser. I mean, he was leading, and then he got stuck in that sucker hole, and all the way back with all that happened, he's able to finish 9th. But yeah, hard. That's hard if you don't have people behind you pushing you.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
Well, It looks like Ulysses might make it to the end. I don't know.
Well, with this caution, at least, that'll help him out fuel mileage-wise. Now, the only thing I don't know about the rules over here at ASR, but NASCAR cannot push a car to the start-finish line with two or less laps to go. If he runs out of fuel, technically, I don't know if anybody's allowed to push him.
Yeah, like you say, going off real life rules, no. But
Right.
then we would have to ask All-Star Racing League to pull out that rule book and go down to, the 15th chapter, Appendix B.
Yeah.
There's a rule in there somewhere. There it is. Chuck McClure. Stay tuned here after this post-race stuff. We will take a look at what happened to Kelly. We will put the flag into the hands of the 17. Chuck McClure, Mike Mangialardi, and Leslie Sandoval, your top three.
Skip Schilling, Denny Carroll, Ken Roberts, John Godfrey finished in the 7th position. 8th is going to be Greg Lovell. 9th is going to be Noster. 10th, Cody Lamas.
And you got 11th, Robert Spring. Cy Jones back to 12th. Wolf, Randy Wong, Mike Brush, David Chin, Stephen Brandsitter, Kelly Causey, and Robert Breedlove. And our retired cars, ASR Hudson, Mark Paglia, David Little, Greg Palmer, Sean Turner, Rodney Sullins, Brian Ross, and Nate Balzer, unfortunately, did not finish the race.
But Dave Chin finished. Unbelievable. That's awesome.
Chuck McClure, no stranger to winning at a super speedway.
Not this one. You won the championship there Thursday night. Was it this last go over down?
Yeah, season 67 at OTG.
No stranger to winning this track.
Working on winning season 2 here at ASR.
Looking to see, currently going into the race, Chuck was 11th in points, 42 back. This will help out quite a bit. I know Dante, is Dante going to be in the field tonight? Oh, he was. But Mangialardi is going to help out a lot. Should be a little bit of a shake-up in the points, not much. I think Denny Carroll will still be the points leader. Busy burning it down. So we gotta interview that Sandoval guy, don't the self-proclaimed in-race reporter. Let's see if we can find him. Ulysses Poppy Sandoval. You got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. Why is it every time we bring him up here, he does that?
Oh, hey, Blaine.
There he is.
Okay, give me 1 second, Rod. For some reason, I can barely hear you. I need to raise your volume
Yes.
to the maximum.
Axe me out, buddy.
All right. What's up?
So, big question. You had a couple of cautions there at the end of it. Could you have made it if it went green all the way?
No.
No.
Yes, that's the simple answer. I mean, Seth has said it before. I like to go outside the box
Yep.
when it comes to strategies. When everybody do this, I just go the opposite and we'll see if it works. And as you can see, on Thursday night, it didn't work. On Friday night, it didn't work. This time, it almost works, but at the end, it came down who has the most sales. At the moment you make a push, I didn't have it. I lost friends in the way, and that's how it goes.
All in all, I mean, it still worked out pretty decent. You ended up third. You might not have been there if you had pitted it and got fuel and had to come back from the back. You led for quite a while up there. Say, that didn't help your fuel mileage. Probably, pulling everybody along. We could kind of see that the drivers behind you were saving and trying to conserve. But then you got the 2 cautions you needed. Like I said, didn't win it. I didn't get the right proper help, but you still ended up third. That's going to help you out in the points, pretty good.
Oh yeah, I missed the first 2 races, so I hope this helps me in the standings because it's a long season point standing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes because I don't have much hope since I missed a lot of races. But just like Doug Hewlett, who also missed 2 races coming into this race, he was third, and he missed a few races as well. So
Yeah.
so it's good, right?
He was the points leader and then had to miss a couple of races. Currently still sitting in the 3rd spot. But, mind you, not showing up tonight. That's going to knock him back a little bit. And obviously, you haven't run every race. You've only ran 2 races other than 2 races and then tonight's race tonight, too. So you're just over here to try to steal that winner's trophy away from everybody each week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, despite that intense finish, I'm still down, man. I'm so tired. Just came out of work, and tomorrow I gotta wake up early again, despite out of work, cause I'm gonna go to Dover to watch the All-Star race.
Oh, that's cool. I have to look up, what is it? Greg Lovell and Dennis McCarthy are going to be there somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome to hear that. The only one I know is gonna be there was Nick Gunter.
Yep.
So we're gonna be all of us there hanging. Then it will be a good experience. It's the All-Star race, everything can happen there.
That's very, very cool. Blaine, do you have any questions for Ulysses?
Yeah, I'm interested about the fuel strategy thing. Just going back to that. So were you just going to run that thing until it ran out of gas, or would you have pitted if you had to? Because it might have been on like the last lap or 2, right? You'd have to go in for a splash, or would you just go in and try to make it?
Yeah, half the. I don't gonna say half. I mean, 90% of the time I do this strategy, it works.
Yeah.
Not that I win races, but that I ended up on a favorite place. But that 10% still bugs me. Like Thursday night, I made the gamble thinking we're gonna have another caution, and it went green all the way through. And since tonight I wasn't really in the mood, I just wanted to sleep and prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow early, I was down gonna see. So I was gonna see, yeah, how does this go? I don't have much to lose, so let's do this. Hey, I told Cody to go with me, and he was scared. He didn't trust my strategy. Just like everybody else, nobody trusts my strategies until they work. And I tell them, I told you.
Yeah, told you so.
It worked out pretty good, buddy. So at least hey, got you at 3rd place. You just gotta get that strategy just a couple of times better. Get yourself out there and get that win. So we'll give you the opportunity to thank anybody and everybody you want. The floor is yours.
All right, big shout out to everybody who will be at Dover tomorrow for the All-Star race. Hope to see you there, and I wish y'all a great experience. Also, a big shout out to my team Wrecking Ball. Cody was here tonight, and that was it. We were pretty much alone this time, so well, we had to improvise, and I still had a good finish, but I would wish a better finish for him because he was the one fighting for that lead point standings, and I think tonight it didn't went good for him either. You guys gotta see my replay on the first half of the race because I was in first line or avoiding those wrecks. So I felt like I was in a 3D movie. Everything was happening in front of me. And that'll be all, you guys. Sorry for not being the in-race reporter. That streak is over. For 1 month, but the streak is over. I think everybody named Garland the new in-race reporter. So good for G, man. So I big shout out to G, and I guess I'll see you next time, you guys.
All right, then. There you go, buddy. Congratulations on your third place finish tonight. Next week, maybe, a little higher up.
See ya.
Thanks, Ulysses. Have a good night, bud.
Good night.
Gotta love his interviews.
I love it. Do you think he can make it to the end on that fuel strategy? And he just goes, nope.
Nope. Nope.
And he finished third. So there you go.
Mike Mangialardi, you're on playing in the booth. You got a copy.
I could barely hear you, Ron.
Everybody, well, I don't know why it is that nobody can hear me. We've tried to figure this out. You're going to have to turn me up is all there
I've
is
got
to
it
it.
boosted to plus 18 dB. I don't know what's going on, but it works.
Ever since I redid the computer, it's been like this. So,
And I got the compression cranked up on the broadcast, so everybody sounds the same.
yeah, but Mike, you just haven't been up here in the, to get a chance to get an interview. So you haven't got to that point where you can't, not hear me.
Yeah, some bad luck. Anyway, let's first thank Bryant Motorsports and ASR for allowing me to race. And, of course, the Rainier Room for watching me. So, thank you, guys.
Yeah, well, worked out pretty good for you tonight. I didn't really, you gotta do something a little different. That camouflage car, when I got done, I looked up and I'm like, Mangialardi got second, and I'm like, well, where was he? Yeah, couldn't see you there. Kind of hiding in that camouflage car, but you managed to sneak it out there right near the end.
Yeah, my Sunny D car wasn't doing it, so I switched out this week and tried to change it up.
That's what it was. I got to get with him sometime because he's still got my tax, and we haven't been able to get a cable for them yet. But
yeah, I was standing there. I was going to follow Ulysses up, and I just didn't pay attention. So
yeah, but you still managed to finish ahead of him. So
yeah, I wanted to push him up there, but maybe who knows? I could have went around him also, but.
So you're currently 7th in points. You've run every race. This is going to help you out points wise. You just got to kind of get yourself up there. Get that W, a couple of W's for the season. Get yourself moved up there in points.
Yeah, that would be nice. I tried tonight. Got shuffled it back. Got stuck in the middle. Stayed back with her for a while to get him up there, keep him up there, and it worked out because we got a caution at the right time.
Gotta love it when the plan comes together, right?
Yeah, I usually never get a caution when I want one.
Plain, do you have any questions for Mike?
Change the subject too. For some reason, I didn't have your car paint tonight, but you guys still play the old Black Hawk Down game, eh?
Oh yeah.
You guys still pick away at that. I love how we're all still playing stuff from like the early 2000s. Back when the games, NASCAR 2003, I think that one was 2004, 2005.
2002. What? God, I can't remember now.
Yeah. It was like the best year for stuff. The games like that just last forever.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't have this car. I've had it in there since March.
That's what I mean. I don't know why I was missing it tonight. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm looking for it right now.
Are you on the new computer, Blaine?
Yes, I am. But
it could be that too.
He runs this car in like a couple of different leagues. I should have it.
Right, but he hasn't been running. He's been running the Sunny D car pretty regular. Mm-hmm. So you might just have not grabbed that car. And I think any of the current cars that are out there in the new file, you may have to go to the old file and just kind of grab them because they've separated to a Season 2 file, so it's a lot smaller, and that's probably why you don't have it. He's running one of his older cars.
It's definitely in the Season 1 file.
Oh, okay. I'll go grab the Season 1 right now. Awesome.
But, all right, buddy. Well, congratulations. Second place. It moves you up a little bit in points, I'm sure. And, looking forward to see what you can do next week. Maybe one more position higher, but we'll give the opportunity to thank anybody you want. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, kind of nice to be the first one to lose for a change. Huh? Yeah. I like thank Denny. He pushed me up there, kept me up there at the end there. He gave me a chance. So, and I thank the broadcasters, Blaine, Rod. You guys do a great job. And again, thank Bryant Motorsports and ASR. And I thank Ken Roberts for putting the show on, and all the other admins and all the reviewers that I work with. And thank you guys.
Well, there you go. Short, simple, and sweet. Congratulations on second place. Hopefully we'll see you again next week up here and having a chat with us.
All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, let's see here. He's cracked open a bottle of Jack Daniels, Gentleman Jack there. He's having a good haul off that. Chuck McClure, you got Rod Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
How you doing, guys?
So, pretty good little race for you there. About that, and near the ending of it, we saw all of you guys make that pit stop. When you did the last pit stop, where it was about right on the edge, we know Ulysses didn't pit. I think it was Denny Carroll, Cy Jones, and them guys did not pit. You guys all did. Did you have enough to make it all the way?
Yeah, we were half a lap to the good, I believe, the four of us when we were lined up there.
So that would explain why you guys were kind of sort of in a little bit of a conserving mode, probably shortly after that pit stop. And you guys we're so accustomed to seeing you guys just, pushing each other down the straightaways and, getting that things up over 200 miles an hour. And you guys were kind of being a little relaxed to it. So it looked to me correct me if I'm wrong, but, you guys are just back there saving a little bit just to make sure you had enough.
Right, and I believe probably almost all of them behind us were as well, so it made it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you didn't have anybody behind you pushing to go, because they all, yes, you can make it, but, you always want to kind of, when you're just racing that style, you always kind of just want to save a little bit of room, make sure that, you have that a little bit so that when you do pull out, that if you were the guy that's leading that pack like you were at the end, you have enough to keep you out there.
Right. I think Ken Roberts done a real good job following me there. I appreciate everything he does over here. He was saving as well. I'm sure of it. But we were just getting ready to pull out and make a move, thinking that the two guys ahead of us didn't have fuel anyway, and the caution come out.
And you say that, so in your mind, you knew you guys could make it in fuel, and you knew them guys out front. Thinking about it, kind of how concerned were you about them guys running out, causing an issue, or you were just going to sit back there, kind of, stay out of trouble, and then when you knew when it was going to get close to the point, you would have probably, at that point, would have moved out, got away from them, got them behind you? Is that
right?
Kind of the strategy?
Yeah, we figured they had maybe another lap or two, and they was going to have to pit, and we didn't want to be behind them when they had to.
Yep.
So we was just, like I said, we was getting ready to make our move, and the caution comes out. So we'll just race for it, whatever.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, with Mangialotti right behind you there, he was able to push you right out to the lead and himself into the second position.
Yeah, I believe he would have tried to pass me if he could have, but he really kind of didn't have room back there. I was mirror driving a lot.
It might have been different if you still had run that last complete lap, but at that point in time, there was no place for him to go but just push you forward, and obviously that helped him out as well.
Right, another lap. I don't think I win this race. I think Brian Schilling has it, but we didn't, and I got it, and I appreciate it.
That's all that matters. Blaine, do you have a question for Chuck?
When you're doing this like every week, like especially with Talladega, do you find I'm just curious if it gets boring. I don't think it does. It doesn't get boring to watch it because you guys seem to just gravitate to this stuff. You're coming from Rolling Thunder. You're coming over here on Saturday. You're racing the same track, not really the same people. Do you find there's much difference between different leagues running the same gear? Because you do get a lot of different names over here at ASR.
Yeah, there's different people here for sure, but there's also some of the same ones, and we know how we race each other, and we try to hook up if we can. If we can't, we just race who's around us. But as far as being boring, no. You can refine little things when you're in a line. I guess it might look boring on TV, it might not, but you just pick up those wee little things, like, that's this guy's emblem on his TV panel is right here on my hood when I'm pushing him, and just little things that I think makes a lot of them a lot better.
It's funny how I asked that question, but we've all been playing this thing for more than 20 years. So, like, if it got boring, we would have been out of her a long time ago, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
It's
love
amazing. It's amazing too that you guys run Talladega, week after week after week, and it's no secret, I'm not a big fan of this style of racing. I've gotten better at it. I've learned a little bit more, but you guys just never get sick of it. I mean, and to me, how you guys make the moves, from the high side to low side, that's where I struggle, and it's amazing how you guys do that.
Yeah, like I said, it comes from a lot of practice, and it's a blast. I don't mind running other tracks as well, but this here is like almost anybody can win these things, and anybody you beat, you just feel like you're on top of the world.
Yeah, doesn't matter how many times you do it. Like, a win is still insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your win tonight. We'll give you a chance to thank anybody you'd like to. The floor is yours.
Well, first off, I appreciate TARNATION TV. I just love watching races with you guys broadcasting, and the awesome camera work. Bryant Motorsports, David Chin, the guy that puts all this on. All the admins over here, Kelly, he runs me real clean and good, and Ken Roberts, I appreciate all the help he's given me and all that, and people at Marshall County Schools who I work for, and family and friends that are watching.
Well, there you go. Tonight's winner, Chuck McClure, congratulations, and looking forward. Are you going to be here next week?
It's hit and miss in the summertime. Dirt track season's starting up, so I like to kind of go get dirty and watch those guys, but I hope to, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I know how that is. I got 4 night races on Saturday night and my racing stuff, so I know exactly what you're meaning. So, congratulations on your win. Looking forward to seeing you next week and racing with you, hopefully, in the next Thursday.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for the kind words, Chuck. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Just like that.
Old dirt tracking. I should go out there and cut some dirt. We got a dirt track up at Brockville. We got one at Brighton too. We should get out there. I haven't been to them ever, actually. Should go catch a race on a damp night and get muddy.
Yeah, I've only been the only dirt race that I've ever been to. I can't say that. I set up a car for a dirt race up at Canaan, which is a track around here. But I went to, oh gosh, now I can't even think of the name of it. But it's Albany, mile track, sprint cars. And these aren't the the little itty bitty 350. These are the big, nitro, fuel injected. I mean, crazy cars. Amazing to watch qualifying. They literally go into the corner and you hear them like wah, off the throttle, and that's just to get the car to turn, and then they're right back, never left. I mean, literally just a bap going into the corners. Absolutely insanity, and it was unreal. Of course, we set up on the high side of the bleachers so we weren't eating the clay.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make sure that you do not wear good clothing.
Yeah, but we did get kicked out of the go-kart track, but that was a different story. Kid that I raced in the street stocks with, him and I decided that we were going to go out there and, the race paid $1 million to win, and we were both determined we were going to beat each other, and we started racing like we did back in the street stocks, and they didn't like that very much. So we got kicked out.
Yeah, well, you gotta get kicked out for something. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Glad to
This is
do
great.
this, man. Another great race tonight. And
Yep.
everybody tune in next Saturday. We'll be back here for race number 6 of season 2. We're over halfway there now. So, you know, again, they don't have playoffs here. We track points right down to the last lap of the last race if necessary. So, may the best driver win. So that'll be a lot of fun. But as always, thanks to Bryant Motorsports. We're going to check out some commercials from them here right now. I forgot to play them through the race. A couple commercials from Bryant Motorsports and the Parts Barn. Big thanks to them, like I said, for sponsoring this season. Of course, thanks to everybody for watching on YouTube Live or in video on demand mode after we're done with the live broadcast. Of course, all the drivers who come out every night and do what they do. It's always exciting to call these races and never see the same thing twice. Mr. Weston, of course, thank you to you. Any final words?
Just another great super speedway race. I'm slowly but surely, you know, turning over to where I'm thinking that this could be fun. You know, not quite 100% there yet, but that was a great job. Some good racing. A few, you know, fender benders out there, and we see a couple cars get destroyed. But looking forward to coming back next week and seeing if we can go green to checkered, no yellows.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah. Well, as always, thanks everybody for watching, participating, and all the things. We'll see you here next time on Tuesday. We'll be here doing Dover race from the Maverick Cup Series. So that'll be cool too. If you want to watch that, you know, follow the channel. You know what to do. As always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.
For Grandma. Me too. He got it at Bryant Motorsports on High Street in Portsmouth. She's really gonna love it. I know, right? If you need a car, give us a call at 393-2600. That's 393-2600.
At the Parts Barn Used Auto Parts, we're crushing cars and prices. The last Saturday of every month is half price. We pull for you, or you pull your own and save even more. Call or search inventory at partsbarnva.com. The Parts Barn, Suffolk and Portsmouth.